so hard last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freeze. How do you spell freeze? There, got it. 2022, there it is.
All right, well, we're live. Welcome to Oily. Welcome to Oily Trash Movies, the only podcast where two people say unfunny things for an entire hour. We're your hosts. Right. I'm Daddy WarBux.
And I'm Bublegum Barbie.
And this podcast is going to be the foundation for the Tower of Babel.
It's true. Oh, also, I want to say this is our 10 subscriber special. I'm very excited for all you 10 wonderful people who love us and adore us.
One of those 10 subscribers is me on my other YouTube account, so thank you for the 9 people who aren't me. But I also appreciate being thanked, because, I didn't have to subscribe to this channel.
I know. Neither did I. So technically, we have 8 subscribers.
I feel so deflated now.
No. So but technically, you're right. We didn't have to sub. I was very hesitant on
We are fans of our own content.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so anyway, it's been like 6 weeks since our last episode. Bubble just woke up from a 6-hour nap. It's past midnight in my time zone. This is gonna be a long night, but I think we can get through it. We're watching what looks like a really good and a really interesting movie called Freeze, which is a Lovecraftian movie, or at least that's how it's billed, where people go to the Arctic, which is a very prominent theme in a lot of HP Lovecraft's works before the North Pole was ever actually explored, I guess. So they thought there could be mountains up there, or aliens, or who knew? Nobody. It was a mystery. So a lot of HP Lovecraft's writing involves trips to the Antarctic or the North Pole. This movie is based on that, and also like the monsters are like these weird deep ones from the HP Lovecraft mythos, which is like the Dagon worshippers. I'm not too familiar with all that stuff. They're like fish people.
Yeah, I don't know any of this, but I love mermaids and sea creatures, kind of. Mythical creatures are my favorite. So this is why this film looked really good. I also love snow cones. They're really delicious. So seeing this movie made me think of snow cones with mermaids. So what I picture is that we'll have snow cones mermaid experience. It's gonna be great.
That sounds pretty accurate. And what's really interesting is that we had 3 movies that we had narrowed down to what we were going to watch this week, and 2 of them were by the same director, this and The Haunting of London Tower, which were both directed and produced by, oh god, I've immediately lost all my notes. Charlie Steeds of Dark Temple Films, which I'm excited. I think this might actually be good.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because this is from the United Kingdom, and I did love Zone 414, which was a United Kingdom film. So I'm expecting a treat, and I hope this is a really good one. It looks promising for sure.
All right, are we ready?
We're ready.
All right, let's go. Boom. That was your audio cue to know when to sync the audio.
Yes, I figured that out on the last 2 episodes.
All right. Well, you still don't even know the title.
This intro. I still don't know the title of what?
Of the podcast.
Oh, that's true. Oily Trash Movies.
And you don't know your own character name?
All common sense was devastated.
I already like this actress's voice. It's really great.
This already is reminiscent of a lot of other H.P. Lovecraft inspired, specifically Eternal Darkness. This might be the same voice actor even.
Dark and cruel unknown. Into this, the frozen white nightmare.
Oh man, this intro woke me up. I'm into this.
Oh man, we're starting
Oh,
right out with the
man.
monsters. Record scratch. You might be wondering how I got here. So this is great because this is also a period piece, so we can judge how terrible or excellent the costumes are.
This one is terrible because it doesn't fit him.
This is a great prop.
It is.
Oh man, he's drinking some whiskey. This guy's living the life.
Yeah, he is.
On a boat, reading the Necronomicon, getting plastered. You don't think he's gonna be the bad guy that betrays him and leaves him for dead? And he says, "Help me!" He's like, "I'll help myself."
No, I think it's gonna be the guy who's gonna be like, kill those creatures.
Barbie mug's not worth printing on a Grittleton packet.
Or like, if someone gets injured, you know, like the weak character, he's the one who's like, just leave him behind.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the leave him behind guy.
Seen it, Jaws? Men are like animals. They'll fight like dogs over a scrap of salt pork.
They will eat your ass. I like how those are supposed to be like torches, but they're obviously just light bulbs.
The salt beef. You know where I keep the tins.
I like the random like light moving all the time. That was cute. And I also like the wall. There was like these old rustic tools.
It's kind of strange. Oh, okay, so this. Well, how do they have this like elaborately furnished dining area on this boat, and then it's like if there's carpeting?
All trash.
Afraid we have more pressing
I mean, it
matters at hand.
happened because remember
Best
when
we keep all our
Pineapple
wits about
showed
us
us
now.
the boat,
Gideon.
and it
This
looked like
is our passage.
where the
same
scrubs
route
of
mapped
the
by Captain
military
Stein
men
on the
lived
island.
in like these
But the waters that we
quarters, and then the
sailed into
captains had
are
these
becoming
nice
ever more unsafe.
dining area,
We're floating off
entertainment.
course, and the ice is growing thicker. Further north
So the
than
boat
any
is
ship
named
that
the
safely
Innsmouth,
returned
which is a
has ever
town
sailed.
from
Pardon me, Mr. McCulloch.
at
We are
least
but days away
one
from
or
Sir William
more
Striner's
HP
last
Lovecraft
position.
stories.
We must be
An
brave.
obvious
We will
homage.
return as heroes when we find the Ibon and her crew.
Believe me, Mortimer, I am as invested as you in finding your lost friend.
We are a warship. The Ibon was a schooner. To find Striner, we must follow his treacherous
So is Lovecraft like an author of
Has
books?
just returned from 2
Yes,
years service on the
H.P. Lovecraft
Mediterranean
is
Sea.
a writer.
This is
Most
the unrelenting
famously
Arctic.
known
Lower your
for
voice,
the Cthulhu
listen.
mythos.
Oh,
but we go onwards. We do not retreat.
Captain.
So this is certainly an ambitious film. So they're on a warship.
so if they're on a warship, I don't like their outfits because I think they wouldn't wear. This is like their fancy clothes for social gatherings. They wouldn't wear this kind of stuff. I think they would wear their like grunt work.
I fear he sees the
Yeah, as
rest
opposed to
of
their.
us expended.
I don't know. I really like. That feels right because these are like the formal wear
Begging like a bitch
with
for
like
Yeah.
the frills and
If
stuff.
this
Where if you're
expedition goes awry,
working on a
Don't
greasy
believe in our assignment.
warship,
Why even come?
loading
I was
cannonballs
ordered, Gideon.
and shit.
Because too few.
But who knows? I feel like there'd also be more than like 6 people
Is
on
it
the boat.
Steiner's recovery?
Yeah.
Or do you
Is this an indie
I
film?
could make your life very difficult back
I
then.
mean, I guess, I suppose,
start showing
Dark
me some
Temple
courtesy,
Films,
Mr.
it's, you know, it's not a major studio.
It's not a major. Yeah, it's not a
turn us
major
around.
studio.
You're
So
as
I
afraid
think
as
like
the rest of us.
because of that alone, you can't really necessarily have like big production background.
Yeah, that's sort of why it's impressive how ambitious this is.
Yeah.
Although, like, in this room, there's, like, marble pillars. I don't know if even a warship is going to have marble pillars. Like, that's, like, from a palatial estate that they filmed that room in.
I think so too, but then I believe it because seeing pictures from the Titanic.
Were there marble or marble columns on the Titanic?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
You get?
I don't know.
Gathered
It
on the
looked
main
nice
deck
and
in a
fancy.
Now,
But this part looks like a
within the
boat.
tracks.
This part looks
man.
really good. Like this is real.
Mr.
This is
Spriggs.
why.
So,
See, like there's
you and
shirts
Ashcroft go down to
hanging.
the
This is
cargo
why I
hold,
don't
check
believe
the
that they
damage.
would wear
Right,
these
Lieutenant.
If you'll pardon
these
me,
outfits that they
Lieutenant,
chose
someone should
With
inform
their
them
me.
to
polished, their
Yes.
polished copper buttons.
These two guys like
Think us to the frozen
drinking
depths.
or
Just,
being gay.
minor worry of mine, Lieutenant.
Bubba, you can't say that on a podcast.
I'll cut it. I'll cut it.
You know, just bleep it out.
What the hell's name is this?
Molly, please.
These guys are being
You mustn't
gay.
tell us so.
Or is that is that his woman?
It's a woman.
He snuck his
Even our
woman on
stolen
board.
Redgrave, that's a very lemon suffering can be quite Entertaining.
This guy's definitely
With little
evil.
else to keep you occupied.
It's a woman, leave her behind.
What's in it for me? I might not be able to control their urges. They're a bloody pig.
I thought they were gonna make out for a second.
For you? It's not
I
like
really
the
don't
fancy
like her
tales you read
accent.
about
I
back home,
think.
even
I
men
mean, I
struggle
love
out here.
accents, but
Now,
here you could
I'll escort
tell
you to
that
the
it's
captain unless we've got a
forced.
deal, little Mr. Redgrave.
Give it back to him. I go to the captain myself.
I go to the
Shit,
captain
Torrance.
myself.
This should be worth it just to see more.
You must do as us men do if you wish to
These
live
types
through
of
this.
voices are my
No time for
favorite.
weakness
They're
now,
so
lady.
soothing.
The Arctic has no mercy.
Alright, we got someone murdered already? Oh my god, what is it? It's a... Man, this fish is just stalking around.
No, not the chef that feeds the crew. This kitchen is
true.
pretty cool.
Who's in ya?
The ichthyoid?
It's like water. Give me some water. Ew.
That's a monstrous talon.
Aw,
There's
should have
something in
been
the
more
cardboard,
blood.
all right. Something deadly.
How could we possibly have sailed this far with something of that
I'm an
size and
ichthyoid.
unnoticed?
I'm 65 million years old.
Failed to notice a stowaway.
Oh my gosh, we
Anything
did
down there
war.
now.
We didn't
Something
even
is
talk
found
about
inside.
our slasher movie
I saw it.
in the beginning.
Creature.
What was the movie we watched last time?
Alone at night?
Man like
Alone at
Who have you given
Night.
up a
Please.
Did we have anything to add about it?
Yeah, I hated the movie. So, with my oily buckets of 10 being the worst, editing it, I say it's like a 6.
Calm yourself, lad.
No, a 5.6.
This
5.5. 5.5, yeah.
Could you draw
Alright,
it,
I'll
Mr.
agree to that.
Maybe we should let him rest.
Only because I hated that there wasn't any deaths. It wasn't slasher enough. Essentially had no slashing that much.
It was a movie called Alone at Night, which is a slasher about a woman who's never alone at night with no slashing.
Right. With no yes.
Damn, he drew that
Wow.
quick. Oh, he's cross-referencing it with the Necronomicon that he has.
Stay with Redgrave. The men await.
I like how they like wrap it and they didn't even bother to rinse it out or anything.
Listen, this is like the 1800s. They didn't know much about how medicine worked. I like how there's really fancy pies
No,
with like
the chef.
the cross lattice dough on top. Pretty amazing.
I love how the sea creature was like caressing the chef. He's like, delicious. You were so delicious.
Like, the chips have modern doorknobs on them. Look, you can see that those are light bulbs, electric light bulbs.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
Alright, so they fled the boat.
So they've been in a frozen
You're watching over the show.
Arctic this whole time, but there was moments where the boat would sway.
We stay together.
Well, I think they ran aboard the ice, and there was like the big
Okay.
shake, the big thudding.
Sir Roland!
This is not bad. This is not bad CGI.
there!
I feel like if they just panned past it and then only had part of it in the frame, it would look better.
Yeah.
Because when you have that whole thing there just completely unmoving, it kind of looks unnatural.
I wonder if they did this in real snow or if they... Yeah, it looks like real snow.
Oh my god. the guy's hand is just poking up.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this is great.
So are they going to find that ship they were looking for and then realize that all of the crew has turned into these monsters?
This is like Lord of the Rings, but with ice.
This is amazing, with like the shadows drawn out forever. This is definitely in some mountain range in North Ireland or something.
I feel my eyeballs free.
I love how dirty our beard guy has become now. He's the only one that has like dirt all over his face
There's
too.
nothing out there.
Don't give up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their motive is right now. They
You're
fled the
still thinking
ship
about Strider, aren't you?
because of those monsters.
He's out there. They could help us.
Yeah, this guy's just taking a shot in the dark to find a ship that's been missing for years, thinking it's gonna save them.
So what?
Yeah, the
Should
one
we
thing I
just
found it annoying
lie
is that
down
he
here
has
in the
all this
cold and
information, but he fled the
I'll
ship
search
without
the
like
Shriner
really coming
until
up with
my
a solid
dying
plan.
breath.
Like, you know, like I like it when movies like the characters are isolated in one room as they try to find a plan and essentially try to
Solve problems.
solve problems, yeah, and like or like the Scooby-Doo gang where
Ben?
they trap the creatures,
Captain!
you know, stuff like that, and then
Redgrave, sir. The
come up
stowaway.
with
How
How
did
to
this
move
woman
forward.
help a limping man manage to catch up with these guys?
You're alive.
yeah. I don't know.
Other survivors.
Not that we could see, Captain. I thought we were the only ones out here.
Like the captains have been
left us to die.
walking for I would say like an hour or two, and all of a sudden this woman catches up.
I owe her my life.
He also said we thought we were the only ones,
make
although
it
obviously
somehow.
they were following their footprints in the snow.
Barnabas.
Oh, that looks nice. They're in a warm cave with a fire. There's like a quarter inch of candle left.
Yeah. See, look, they do have candles. Why didn't they just?
Ah, it is a dead
Oh,
body.
it is a dead body. It's a frozen dead body.
the first to find this.
He's all frozen.
Oh, that's just.
At least hands moving.
Yeah. What a position for the actor to choose to do. Director's like, okay, you're on the floor, dead, frozen. All right, and then this is what he
Hook
chose.
all
his
of your
hands.
fingers and hands.
Yeah. But something that's comfortable because you're gonna be standing in that scene for 5 solid minutes, unmoving.
Have you used a gun before?
I'll manage.
No, his hands are more relaxed.
Continuity error.
issue.
I expect the captain's gonna go insane.
I do too. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Madness is it. Alright, so that's the guy who shot himself in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, is that... Oh, that was her family.
Oh no.
And she didn't recognize him until she pulled the dog tag
Until
off.
pulled out. Yeah. So I love the
These mountains seem empty for now, at least.
shot himself kind of
Only the
guy.
dead rest here.
Director was like, okay, so you shot yourself. You're gonna lay here
Bloody repugnant.
for a couple hours,
That's
and then
revolting.
this is
Marvelous
the pose
We'll cover
the
it up.
actor chose.
Does the actor get to
His
pick
mouth
the pose?
open. Sometimes, yeah.
This way.
But the majority on scripts, yeah, they just have like some guidelines is that they would want, and then the actor chooses what makes sense and what's comfortable. Because too, the director wants his actors to be as comfortable as possible when doing scenes.
If I was a director,
And
I would
that's-
want my actors to be in the highest amount of agony and anguish,
I believe it.
preferably both physical and mentally.
I believe it.
That's how you get great performances, Bubble.
You did mention your favorite scene was in the
Most.
what was that movie where
Great work, McCall.
it's Johnny? You know that scene,
The Shining.
that iconic, The Shining,
And the ship.
and how
We're going to need it.
the actress broke
And if Finch
apart.
has been crushed and
Yeah,
Due to
her
the
hair
director
fell out.
pushing, yeah, the director pushing her to be in that state of mind
before
for
starvation
10
takes hold
hours.
of all.
A day for
There's
months,
enough food
or however
on
long
board
it took to
ends
film.
to
Yeah,
last us years.
Stanley
In
Cooper.
that time, a rescue party will find us. Yes.
They were the rescue party, and now they're assuming a rescue party is going to come for them. I did like how when they heard the shouting, they all ran, and they also took the time to pick up the guy who needed carried. Oh, I bet it's gonna be infected.
It's gonna be like a mermaid. Mostly this is good. Gross. Oh, they need to amputate
Oh
that.
man, that'd be great.
Oh, that's nasty.
Warm, you say?
I don't think it's too bad.
No, bro, it's
We should all
bad.
check our feet. Don't want to find our toes turn black.
Black.
Frostbite, kid. Can you feel this?
Yeah, you idiot. You in the Arctic.
Ah!
This.
No, sir.
Bro, you need to cut it. We like Saw. Commit. Specializes in this type of stuff, and she would like
Mr.
would just say, just cut it off, cut it all off.
You're gonna have to amputate it, right?
Yep. She said once it starts getting like dischargy, once like it gets puffy and poofy and the skin starts melting like butter, that's all dead tissue, so it has to go.
Every day he's alive, he'll be eating through our rations, scoffing what few supplies we have left.
Oh, look, this is the guy who's saying we gotta kill him.
Starvation we could alleviate,
Not the
if we just
bearded
looked at
guy.
the situation
No!
rationally.
How dare
He's a bird
you,
like us.
Piglet?
It isn't, especially
Oh
when
gosh,
it's
he's
as
gonna
ill
do it.
deserved
Oh, I
as
thought he was
yours.
gonna
Doesn't
pull out a
matter here.
saw.
We all.
Okay, so this guy's having an arc then. He's like, no, we can't just kill him.
Be a man.
I feel like the rest of the movie is gonna be in this cave.
I do too. The locket that confirmed that she knew the guy who shot himself.
Well, I guess if he's been missing for years, she might not recognize him if he's been alive up until recently.
Well, I don't think so, because he would have essentially stayed the same because he is frozen.
But if he had been alive up until like just recently and the ship was missing for years, he could be like, or, you know, she might not have seen him in like 7-8 years. You know, he was on a ship and the ship could have been sailing around doing shit.
But she remembered the locket. I don't buy it.
Oh, look at this. This guy is an asshole. He's stealing the rations. But he wasn't willing to kill the guy to get more rations. But this is like
that's
essentially
true.
the same thing. It's the Jeepers Creepers phonograph.
My God. It's so famous. And here we were saying that the Jeepers song is a fake song.
Oh,
And it's been in 3 movies.
so this is obviously, I'm assuming, in this guy's head.
William,
Or I think it's his captain
The ichthyoids.
that he went to go
They
save.
enjoy our music, can you believe?
you're alive.
It's a gramophone.
Oh, a
Get from
gramophone?
the Lady
I don't know what the difference is.
One of the few things I salvaged from the wreck. Come in where I can see you, man.
I salvaged this gramophone and about 90 candles. I think he's definitely imagining this.
You've seen the ichthyoids.
The what?
The ichthyoids. Creatures from the ice. They can endure it all.
This guy wants to clap them mermaid
Intelligent
cheeks.
beings.
Oh
Yes.
gosh. I was
Yes.
just going to say that
Their
this guy is
intelligence
also
is
oily
staggering.
trash. Look at him.
They
He's
are
so
superior.
dirty.
Yeah, maybe he is real
Perfect.
and
They're
he's crazy
servants.
too.
Come,
And he's like in love with
sit
these
with me and
things.
celebrate. And then
I do wish the captain, though, would move.
glorious sense.
I came for you.
I think he did
I
it
kept my
as
promise. I risked
an
my
actor.
life.
I don't think
My
he
crew,
knew that he
men
had
died to
permission
find
to
you.
move around
And now
within
you
this
speak of
space
mankind as if
and
they're expendable. Have you no
talk
care
to him.
for?
But I also like
God
this.
care when he
Oh yeah, I
flooded
mean
the earth.
this is a
Care
visual
when he sent a
medium and it
pestilence
should
to
be
kill thousands
they should
in
be
his
moving
way.
around and
You're
talking
psychotic.
in between this.
I am
doing
more than
things.
human. I have knowledge, Roland.
Now he's
I've
backing
seen
away.
what
That's
our future
wonderful.
is.
But I wish that the captain would have grabbed him and be like, "Old man, you're crazy. You're losing your mind," and just shaking him.
Yeah, I think they could have done more than just the 2 camera angles back and forth the whole time. But...
Exactly. And then the other captain just slaps him across the face. And what was the line that he said? He's like, no.
Yeah, that was the line. No. Nom 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 nom.
This guy's been enjoying a whole loaf of bread.
He ate the entire prop loaf. Oh my god, this is like the scene in Jurassic Thunder where the T-Rex comes out and it's dark.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling like much tension in this.
Yeah.
His hand got ripped off. Oh my god, she's gonna save them all! Boss babe!
Does the one logical thing.
What?
She's a
going...
really bad actress. I'm sorry. She's probably the weakest one.
There are explosives on board.
Oh my god, they're gonna blow it up. So I think they're gonna take some of the extra explosives and then blow the cave up at the end.
Because you're lieutenant. It's what you
Oh my
signed
god,
up for.
if it's
It's your
anything
duty.
like at the Earth's core, I'm gonna be so excited. I love that movie's explosion. It was so over the top and perfect.
I think the guy with the one leg is gonna be the only one who survives, with his honey, of course. she's dual wielding these guns.
I'm not here to murder anyone. I'm here to survive, to fight for my life.
From here on, I do things my way.
Damn.
No more hiding.
She fired one shot.
We could man the ship ourselves.
I know, right?
Go for help. We don't have a choice.
It's all it takes. One shot, one opportunity.
Listen to everything Captain Mortimer says.
See, this is great. I love this drone shot here. They're obviously crossing through unbroken snow. Oh my god, he was hiding on the ceiling.
Hey, look, this is so great. Not the oily captain. I love him.
Oh my god, he's gonna eat his finger off? What?
Oh no. Oh, this is good. See, this has more slasher than the slasher Alone at Night had. That mythical creature is just saying, I want to dance. I want to sing.
Go on.
Take care, comb your hair.
Kill your old friend.
You know what to do.
You can't, can you? Can't pull the trigger on another man.
You're not man anymore.
Should have shot him. He's gonna be coming back.
Should have shot him, yeah.
He'll be back for the 3rd act.
Proved him right. The old man was right. He's like, you can't shoot me. And he's like, you're not man. Hits him with the back of the gun.
Man, that electric lamp
So
there.
these guys are doing what they should have done earlier. Rather than...
Which is get the explosives out of the...
Yeah. Like, they literally had no plan. They just abandoned everything. They're like, abandoned ship.
Yeah, there's a monster on the boat. I guess we'll just flee into the Arctic wilderness.
Yeah. Like, look at all those weapons. Like, look at those spikes.
And the food and the pie's still there with the lattice. Man, he should have taken one of those big trident things. I told you there would be Arctic mermaids.
Like, so you did have it wrong. So the beard guy just ended up dying. And this guy's the one who betrayed somebody.
Yeah, I was actually kind of bummed out that the evil guy died so soon because I was like, oh, well,
like, so am I.
I was like, how are they gonna make it? How's there gonna be any tension? But now we've got the lieutenant here turning evil. So yeah, we've got a handful of bad guys.
Oh man, the soundtrack of this is really eerie. It was ugh. So is he a magical artist?
I don't think so. I think just some sort of evil force. I don't know. He's like a conduit, I'm assuming. I got my fingers bit off.
It was Cthulhu telling him what to draw.
Oh, they're gonna go back and the captain's gonna be gone because he was only knocked out. So this guy's just burying the food that he brought, that he stole?
The dynamite. He's burying the dynamite.
Okay. I would take the dynamite
Of all
and blow up the bad guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Like the dynamite's definitely gonna come back in the third act, right? Someone's getting blown up.
How's the hand?
Yeah, sock him one.
How did he manage to tie him against that rock?
Brought a female. How did this happen?
I don't know.
Stowaway. Oh, that can be we have him now.
Turns out y'all wasted your time.
Gideon.
Like the number 5 is written on the wall there. Did you see that?
I didn't. I'm still shocked on how the captain managed to wrap up the other captain in that thick-ass stone.
He tied him to a stone wall.
They killed Barnabas.
Well, he obviously didn't bury them very well.
Well, because I was just gonna say too, like it wouldn't really necessarily be hard because all the captain had to do was just chase the footsteps.
So I guess he saw that his knuckles were like red and knew that he was digging in the snow.
Sir Henry Roth's, they lost themselves in these mountains of madness.
Mountains of Madness is another HP Lovecraft story.
You're smarter than them. You see this wretched body of mine?
I feel like that captain could be even more oily.
I know you from my dreams.
Those dreams belong to me.
Captain! Captain!
Oh man, Redgrave got it.
Oh man, you were predicting this movie wrong. This is a surprise film.
If you
We
want to
didn't.
get home, you will do as I
We
say.
didn't guess
No time
any
for
of the. Besides you seeing like he converted him. Yeah, he totally converted him.
Yeah,
We
my
haven't
my
predicted our-
expectations. I've been wrong on everything.
Yeah. Oh no, Jeepers Creepers. Ah.
We've been copyright struck. I hope there's a musical number.
I know, right? Starts dancing.
Oh, dude, I hope these sea creatures.
Look, all they want to
start
do is
dancing.
dance. I know, they just want to dance.
Redgrave.
No! He's escaped. This old doddering man's escaped. Ah, this guy's gonna be a zombie now.
Ew, that's so good. Oh, that was good. Gross.
A second headshot.
Not Redgrave anymore.
That's all it took. One headshot was not enough. So the book is a key? I don't know if I buy that.
Cthulhu comes out.
Man, if Cthulhu comes out, I'll be excited. I like how she's lashed the 2 guns together. Or 3 guns. She's got 3 guns now.
3 guns now, and she's never ever shot a gun before. She said, I'll manage. She's been more effective than the entire room.
Act 3. Here we go. Everyone's loading up. Locked and loaded. I noticed that she switched her
We're just having
firing.
a dance party. We're
It's a
just
dinner
like,
party.
hey, yeah.
He screamed "Cheerio, mate" before dying. Why'd she let him die? Like, she didn't know that he was evil, right?
I know. Yeah, I know. She didn't know anything.
I think this explosion is going to be extremely disappointing.
I think so too. I think it's barely gonna explode that tablet.
That'd be great if at the end of this, like at the end of Jurassic Thunder, they like started dancing.
Oh yeah.
Is he gonna jam that into the wound he just cut into him? Yeah! That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I do like the slasher. This is what I was asking for Alone at Night, which I did not get.
He's got like
Look,
sticks
now
inside him.
you said you wanted this captain to be more oily. Look, he is a little more oily.
He is now. Well, there's your explosion.
There it is.
Goes
So
off scene.
disappointing. Ugh, she was so annoying. I would have cut her role completely.
So now she should at least complete the job of taking the dynamite back to the ship. Unless, is she evil now?
No, I think she's just dumb. Like, she only went into this trip just to, like, find her brother, but she had no plan. She didn't even know how to use a gun. She didn't save that one guy. She didn't save the captain. And now she's just gonna walk aimlessly in this Arctic field of... Now the boat's gone.
Yeah, or is she just wandering out? You know what? I think she's heading to the North Pole, like the geographic north.
Well,
that was freeze.
This movie was alright. It is oily. I would consider it oily, but I think it's better than Alone at Night because it had nice little dead effects.
It was way better than Alone at Night, I would say.
Yeah, so I would say maybe a 2 to a 3 is my ranking of oil, buckets of oil.
I would rate it between 2 buckets of oil and at the low end, and then 2 WarBux at the high end, because really,
right?
I don't know.
The story, the script was so good. I loved
the writing was good.
What the characters were saying to each other. It felt real. It's something that would be said, and then you were intrigued in the storyline. And it was a good storytelling script, which is admittedly hard to do. So, yeah, I guess I would, because of that, with my bubblegums, I would probably give it one good bubble gum. The illustrator was so freaking good.
That was the highlight, I think, of the movie.
It was so good.
Things this movie got right, I would say, are the beautiful on-location scenes with all of those sweeping drone shots of them crossing through the snow. That was all fantastic. I would say the first act of this movie was probably the most solid, where they're in the boat. Even though some of the, like, I'm still not sold on the marble columns. Well, what do we got here? I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may be at this very moment, crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likeness on submarine obelisk of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down in their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. So,
you definitely like that. Yeah.
I'm assuming
That's so good.
This is the inspiration. This quote is sort of the inspiration for this movie. But back to the first act, I think the boat was the most interesting set-wise, when they are just in a series of unrelated caverns where everything looked the same. That was just way less interesting visually. I think the third act, the MacGuffin of the obelisk, felt shallow and like the blowing it up that happened off screen. So I guess the obelisk somehow allowed the evil captain to control the monsters, but then he was also saying that he trained them like dogs. What I would have done, I think the goal of this movie becomes stopping these creatures, and instead of the obelisk, you have some sort of gateway, like some sort of ancient, elaborately carved gateway, in fact, that leads down to some subarctic tunnels that maybe go down to the center of the earth, a la Journey to the Earth. What was that movie? The Hollow Earth one, At the Earth's Core.
Oh, yeah, At the Earth's Core.
So then the goal becomes you take the dynamite, you blow up that entrance, and then the monsters can't keep coming out, and I think that's how you end the movie.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And maybe you even tease Cthulhu, like the granddaddy beast of all of these ichthyoids is coming out of it. Like, the white worm. They had to blow up the cavern where the white worm was coming out. That I think would have been great. Worm. Like this obelisk doesn't even look good, honestly.
Yeah.
It just looks like someone took chalk.
So what I would do to fix this movie, even though it wasn't terrible, it's better than Alone at Night. It's 100 times better than Jeepers Creepers. It is. I think it's not as good as At the Earth's Core. I did like that. But that was also a big production where this one isn't really, so it's more like indie class. I think that it was successful in its ambition because, yes, they did have 1,000 characters in the background. I would have loved, since they did have some extra characters, which was the chef with no dialogue, the musician in the bar area.
Oh, yeah.
If they would have...
we never saw that guy die, I don't think.
We never saw that guy. He was only there for that scene, and then he was gone. So I think it would have been fun if there was like more interactions of them, like maybe just a little cut scenes of them doing some like every day or being involved more with the characters a little bit, so that we have sympathy. And then having like their deaths be very, very, since they were the first one dead, like being very out, like
shocking.
The top.
Like, whoa, like
shocking.
This is showing you that these monsters are a threat. You've got the lovely cook, you've got the guy, the accordion that everybody likes, and he's like, who doesn't like the guy playing music? And then, he's been decapitated and ripped apart to shreds. I agree.
Like just so horrid, like over the top. Like these creatures are so bad. And then I would have loved like the characters to use more of like it's like that big room, like it starts like it's like this film, I forget who does it, but like that kind of aesthetic of it's an open space. Like Coraline, the director of Coraline, did this idea where I don't know if you've seen or know of the story of Coraline, but what the director, it's a puppeteer kind of film, and what the director wanted to do when she's with her real parents, it's more of an open space, or no, it's more like a gloomy type of place because she feels the way she feels about her parents. And then when she's in the other mothers, it's more colorful and more open space. It's like her house, because the little girl is taken into a new town, a new home, and starting over, and she's just not about it. And she's exploring this house, and the call that the director said, I want this space, every space, to look smaller, in difference of the other mother, where it's more of a like open space, colorful, like trying to convince her she wants to be there so that the other mother can eat her. So I would have liked like that kind of sense where we have the boat, it's huge, just like how we saw the captain in that big room, like having that kind of space, and then all the characters coming in, and as they're all these creatures, like the big over exaggerating death kills, everybody's just like that. Everything just starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as all the other main characters are dying off. I would
Yeah,
have
and
liked that.
they get backed up into the
They
smallest
back,
rooms.
yes, to a point where, and then having like like a Scooby Doo, iconic show where they try to trap these creatures and trying, because we are intelligent creatures and we are innovators and we could do that. So I would have loved for these characters to do that kind of stuff. Obviously, the director would have been like, okay, so I choose for them to fail or I choose for them to succeed in this way or this way. And I would have loved that, rather than what they did was just like, oh, here they killed our cook and they killed our musician. Let's just leave, I would have loved for them to have because there was weapon. There were a rescue ship. And I
They were
wanted
well
for it to
stocked,
feel,
well provisioned. They had an entire
uh-huh.
kitchen full of food. Yeah, this whole second act where they're in the caves arguing with each other and one by one they die or get picked off by monsters, that all should have been in the boat sets. They should have been huddled up there, and then they should have been forced to flee the boat at the end of the second
Right.
act, which is what logically makes sense. The fact that they immediately stalked off into the snow and the ice was stupid. Like, why would you abandon the safety of your ship and your vessel because there were two monsters there? So yeah, if you'd had, it's swarming with monsters and they're becoming, more and more aggressive, and then at the end you stalk off, you find the caves, you find the captain, which is like, okay, now we knew this was a rescue mission, and now we're back in the caves, and we find the captain, and then we find out he's got the evil plan to free the Cthulhu monster from the gate, and they have to stop him, blow up the gate, and they all die in the process. But you know what? They collapsed that tunnel. I think that would have been, a better movie. I think it's how you fix it.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. I think that's really the best way. Other than that, the acting wasn't too bad. I really didn't like the female actress, to be honest, 100% honest with you. She
Bubbles
wasn't
just
terrible.
jealous because she auditioned for this movie and did not.
No, I wish the director, like, there's moments where as actors, like, we want to be creative and feel that we have that ability to be creative, and I think which is why I think the director did allow that for the actors, especially with the creatures. I think those guys were really cool.
Speaking of the creatures, there are 3 creatures, which means there's probably 3 creature costumes. So this is like a composite shot of like the left, the right, and the back, just to get the most out of it.
I did love the creature costumes. So I want to give props for the director and the team for those costumes.
I do love rubber monster suits.
Yeah, it was really, really. They succeeded in that 100%. The music was really good. Sadly, YouTube is not going to be able to hear any of it, but the composer was fantastic. I did like his stuff. I did like the what was it? The guy who like messed up his leg and he took forever. Oh, that's the thing. You mentioned that. That is annoying. Like, he was like drawing this sketch and we never got to see that. That was very
yeah, well, she looks at it, and then the very next scene, she's walking up to the obelisk and approaching it.
Yeah. I wish they would have shown something, Well, they did show some of it, like the process of it, so we kind of did get a glimpse at it, but...
And the fact that we've established that we've got great, unbelievable illustration in this movie. And he even sketched that monster at the beginning in like 5 seconds.
I know. The costumes, they weren't the best, but they also weren't terrible. The only reason why I didn't love them is because I don't believe that they would have worn their best clothes in this mission until they went back home and succeeded. That's what I think they would have done. And I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't feel like a rescue team who, rescue teams go through so much training. You know, like it's a
These
thing.
are
It's a whole thing.
this is the Royal British Navy. Yeah, they should be very capable and
Capable,
competent.
exactly. And they didn't feel competent at all, at all, at all. I did like the captain though. The captain was reasonable. Like it's something that captain might have done in the best circumstances. Man, these illustrations are just extraordinary. 100% talent. It's so good. So the sets, I wasn't too disappointed on the sets. I love where the captain that they were going to rescue, what he was doing. I liked his like whole hub of like he did have some human. I thought that was cool. I was really disappointed with this character because we were just really hoping that he would have been more involved.
And he was so evil that, like,
yeah,
if you are gonna kill him, it should be in a really satisfying way. Man, look at the teeth in that thing.
I know, it's so cool. If the director would have hired me, I would have loved to be one of these guys because I just want to dance, and this is all these creatures really wanted to do.
Oh
the
yeah,
sad
let's go
part
through
is
the
that
dancing.
the sad part is that I was more. I felt a little more sympathy for the creatures, but I did like all the characters essentially. It wasn't as bad as Jeepers Creatures where I hated the characters so much.
Nothing
I
was
didn't
as
care
bad
for
as Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that was just oily trash. Every single time as we're watching movies, I hate that movie even more and more and more. Jurassic Thunder did it better, where and you disagree with me. You know that Jeepers Creepers is a movie, but Jurassic Thunder was just so good in comparison to it. At the Earth's Core is like its own category of special place in my heart.
It's hard to compare At the Earth's Core to the other movies we've watched just because it's from
Mhm.
such a different time period.
Yeah. And I think that movie At the Earth's Core is just so great.
I'm
It's
disappointed.
great movie making of its time, for sure.
I'm disappointed that this guy didn't get blown the fuck up with those sticks of dynamite sticking out of his chest.
I know. It was a whole scene, and yeah, you're right.
They had no pyrotechnics budget in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's another
did
thing.
not.
Any explosion would have been appreciated, I think.
I think so too. Even if, like, maybe if they would have used like a miniature explosion, that would have been cool. I don't know.
Like the
I
fact
really
that, like, this is the big scene where he blows up the obelisk and it happened completely off screen. Like,
It did, and it was just the light.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah. Well, it was literally all they did was just they picked a very small corner of the set area, of the cave, and then they just used lighting, flashing lights, and that was it.
They blew a little bit of dust into the scene.
Yeah,
and then
that was
for some reason that book being like a key, like that didn't make any sense. I don't understand. Like, one, it doesn't make any sense. Why would a book be a key? How could it be a key? It's just like an indentation. Like,
don't question Cthulhu. Like, you can't question Cthulhu like that.
Obelisk,
he does whatever the heck he wants.
The third act MacGuffin was just such trash. For how ambitious this movie was, come on.
Yeah. It was ambitious.
Here's our explosion. Yeah, look, it's like they throw some pebbles at her.
I think that's all I have to say, really. I guess not. I did like her. Oh, I did like the shot. The boat shots were not too bad.
See, I still think you pan past it, and then you have the boat just like 1/3 of it coming in from the edge of the frame. I think
exactly.
Because if it's panning, if it's in motion, you really can't fix your eyes on it and see how fake it looks. Like this set here with like all the crates and shit. Like this is so much more interesting than that stupid cave, and there should not have been.
I would have loved if the character, like, since there was already gore and deaths with it, like slashings with which this film did have really good slashes. It would have been cool if they just start cutting off his leg. Oh man.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. How they how they gonna blue ball us on that amputation?
Hmm.
They already had
Yeah.
the fake leg that they were like stabbing and stuff.
Yeah, that was
And that would have
cool.
been
I did like that entire session of grossness, and it was almost medically accurate.
that would have been a great scene where they're holding him down, they're
Hmm.
cutting his leg up. Like we have to do it. You know, the captain
And they're like, don't
knows.
be a bitch. I'm a bitch. No, my leg.
I,
See, I, I know
loved-
you hated that room, but I loved how it looked. It looked really good.
it did look
the
good.
kitchen is great.
I just don't buy that it was a room on a ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how you can see the electric lights too. That's
Oh yeah, the electric
that one.
lights is so
This one,
great.
it's not as obvious, but some of them you could clearly see the light bulb.
It's right when they're leaving the ship is where you can see it.
There's a few instances. That one right there. I don't know. It's hard to scrub through this.
Like, who's that guy
What?
that's on the floor? The first dead person, the one that he witnesses dying.
Oh shit.
He was just like a dude, just
Yeah, I think he was
in
just I
line.
think he was just a random dude because that guy got
Okay.
set down.
which means that he must have been one of the creatures. 'Cause I think I mean, if I were a director, I would recycle my characters as much as I could, for sure.
Sure.
I would have one of my actors who's the creature, and then have my other actors who is like, oh, here's a bystander that the other main characters don't know about. And then,
Definitely needed to be some more extras or any
Mm-hmm.
extras. Like, you know, you just have two guys carrying something or loading something. Like, make it look like it's an actual ship where people are working and not just, you know, a bunch of people standing around on a set.
yeah. A lot of it was really visually good.
And then I think I noticed something. This is supposed to say raisins, but is it misspelled? There should be an I here. Or did they not spell raisins with an I in 18th century? Like, is that accurate? Is that how you spelled raisins back then in the United Kingdom? I know they
I
spell
have
some
no
things
idea.
differently.
I love how there's a whole box of candles, and there was really not any candles. Besides the captain who's gone insane.
Yeah, he had all of the candles.
He had all the candles.
2 years worth of candles he had.
Yes.
I would
know.
recommend watching this. I don't hate myself for having seen this. It wasn't like Cryo, where
Right.
it was a bore and
Oh,
a pain
God.
to sit through. Everything about it, just as somebody who loves movies and loves cinema, I enjoyed watching this. There was that one cave where the number 5 was written on it. I'm assuming that I thought it was like some sort of hieroglyph, like the obelisk had the strange writing
yeah.
and text on it, but then from the other angle, it was just the number 5, and it's like, okay, like, was that like the set designer? Like, did they just put numbers on various walls so they knew like which angles to be at?
it's just like these
That
UK
seemed like an
the
error.
Yeah, well, I think it's just like that one indie film that we watched with the dinosaurs where they did a lot of walking and they sat on a bark and it had graffiti on it. I think that's what might have happened here.
You think this is an actual cave and not a set?
Yeah, maybe, possibly if there's a 5 on it, which is interesting. So if you... Because I didn't see it. I'll see it in editing.
This is the scene with the 5, which it's behind her right now. You could see it earlier,
Oh,
but
I
when
can't see
they
it.
walk away, you'll be able to see the whole thing.
Okay.
Let me skip ahead.
If there's a 5 there, I think that this might be a real cave. And I think just like stupid teenagers go in and smoke and drink beer.
Yeah, all right. Do you see it here? The 5. Maybe
I
that is
don't see it. Where?
where my mouse is.
I don't see your mouse.
Do you see where her thumb is?
Yes. There it is. I see it now.
Maybe that's
It's
like
red.
maybe it's supposed to be a bloody handprint. It looked like a 5 to me. I don't know.
It does look a 5. It does look like a 5. I mean, I think it might be graffiti. Who knows?
So wait, here's the knife where it's sitting next to this guy.
Yeah, I love that.
And then he gets shot, and then he falls down, and the knife's next to him here. And then it's back there.
Yeah.
And then he gets up, and it's sitting here between them. Which, okay,
Yeah.
I guess that could have been, like... But here it's got just a little bit of blood on it, and there it's completely covered in blood.
Yeah. I love it. I love that they were not shy with blood. I loved it. I too would recommend this to people. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like cryo. And the fact that it is a late recording today and we did enjoy it, and I'm not regretful like I was in cryo where we could just not sit through it.
Or we just
But
gave up.
immediately, yeah, we just gave up. But immediately, this is 90 minutes where cryo was too freaking so long. It was
Brutal.
way too, for nothing to happen. It could have been cut down to an hour, essentially.
Yeah. If you're an HP Lovecraft fan, I think you'll especially like this. Just for the captain's dialogue, where he just delivers it with such... I don't even know what you'd call it. It's so theatric, the way he speaks. And it's really... HP Lovecraft wrote in very... very flowery language, I would say. And that definitely harkens back to a lot of his stories and just his style. So if you're a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, yeah, I don't know, you'll get something out of it. If you like movies and you like H.P. Lovecraft, there's not a lot of Lovecraftian movies out there. So this fills a niche. And aside from that, I don't think it's good. I've not seen many good Lovecraft movies. I would say, I think Underwater was the one with Kristen Stewart. That was probably better.
I am into mythical creatures. I don't know, again, too much about Lovecraft, but I do like this. I did enjoy it. It's not good, but it's good enough to just watch with friends if you want to see something,
Yeah, or you got nothing to do. You got nothing to do at night. Put this on.
Yeah.
It's Lovecraft.
It's really nice.
Add it to your list.
And the reason why it's good and I recommend it is because the two captains, this captain and the other captain, when they had moments together, I think they were beautiful. The only thing I would change was for them to just get closer and like
choke
have
each
that
other.
Intensity. Yeah, have that intensity between one another. It's like, I'm here to rescue you. And the captain is like, nah, homie, I ain't going. I love these creatures. Like that would have been intense and good.
This clip here is great. He stumbles in, spits the blood out. Like,
oh yeah, he's so.
He looks
good.
dirty here. One of my complaints was that a lot of these guys didn't look dirty as the movie progressed. Like, look how clean she looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she falls and now she's dirty.
The two captains really sold this movie to me.
Absolutely.
They were really good.
They were the best actors, and the chemistry between them was great. Mm-hmm. And the creatures were best supporting actors.
I hated this. Like, she never really interacted with the captain much. The only time that she interacted with him was when she was discovered. And he's like, whatever, that's fine. Whatever you came from, blah. And that was it. So this scene really wasn't.
She should have served the purpose. She should have served the purpose as the audience. We're the stowaway watching this unfold, and she's basically here just to witness his dying monologue. But they tried to make her the character, and this whole pocket watch thing. The fact that she became the hero and was gunning things down in a first-person view, that felt like that didn't quite fit with her three guns belted together.
Which was cool. I agree. And I mean, it's interesting too because the other captain was saying, oh, look at you, a woman. Like, they've never witnessed a woman before or seen. I wonder what they'll do to you, which was really eerie and kind of uncomfortable. But it was so well done. And I wish that would have been a little more like her just being just really just killing as many creatures as possible. And all the director had to do was use the same actors who are in their rubber skin suit and just have him like many different ways of dying and just recycling that same image. But who knows? It's an indie film. There's always, I understand there's deadlines. You know, it's
Do you
so
think
much
she
you
should
can
have been
do.
portrayed as more vulnerable in the beginning and be at the sort of the mercy of the monsters and then have that arc where she kills them? It's because she shows up right from the get-go, one shot, they all flee, and she's sort of the hero.
Right.
And then, you know, that the evil captain was ragging on her about being a woman, but that really never felt realized.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, to what you said, I would have loved that if we're going with the way we would fix this movie is by having the rescue team actually be a competent rescue team, and they're just super like they're just badass. Like like you just see like, oh, this is why these people sent the UK, the United Kingdom sent these guys to rescue these guys because look at them. They're so efficient. They have such a plan. They've already killed 20 monsters, you know. And then all of a sudden, the bad guy whose death was kind of was too soon, in my opinion. He would have that's this bad guy who was so bad and so angry. He's the one who's sabotaging everything and is killing the team because of his fuck ups, of him just being impulsive. That would have been cool. And then she comes in and becomes has to be the hero where the competent team is falling apart due to the team falling apart. That would have been cool.
All
So
right,
yes.
well, we're at over 2 hours here, so raw footage, of course. We'll cut this down. Do we have any closing remarks on this movie?
Not a bad movie, but
Yeah.
not a great movie.
Check it out. It's not good, but it's worth watching, I would say. And yeah, that's Freeze 2022. Charlie Steeds directed it, and he is we might be watching another one of his movies coming up here pretty soon. So that'll be interesting to see how his style changes in between these films. But yeah, this has been Oily Trash Movies. Thank you so much to our 10 subscribers. Thank you, Bubble. I know you subscribe. You're a big part
I know,
of that subscriber count. And thank you for our 750,000 weekly listeners.
Yes, thank you so much. I
Take care,
do want
comb
to
your
add.
hair. Oh,
Hold on,
add
I
it.
do want to add. This is one of the greatest examples of give indie films a chance because it is fun and it can't be terrible. So that's it. That's all I wanted to add.
All right, take care, comb your hair.
Remember to mace directly in the face. Bye.